The job market is so bad right now that it might actually be easier to just start your own business.
Guess who's applied to 200 different jobs and has gotten 0 replies yet?
Someone please help me find a job. I just graduated from a master's program 3 weeks ago, with a master in public health in health policy and law, and I have been applying to jobs since March.
The job market in 2025 is beyond abysmal, and I am starting to think companies are quietly using AI to minimize their overhead. Curious to hear your thoughts down in the comments below on this.
The job market is so bad right now that it might actually be easier to just start your own business than find a job. I took a cold call yesterday from a sales guy. I don't know why I took it. I never take these calls, but I was talking to him and he told me that he was representing a marketing company. I said, okay, so what is your job? He said, well, actually, I own a business. He told me that he was an account executive and the job market was so tough. He couldn't find a job for months and months that he decided to open up a business. And essentially all he does is he's like a fractional account executive. So he literally works with companies and just does all of their cold calling. And he has 5 clients. He's already starting to expand the business. In fact, he was hiring somebody to kind of help him with some of the cold calling. And he just told me it was really hard to find a job. And I figured it would actually be easier to, instead of just applying for jobs and having an interview and sell myself, he's like, I thought it would just be easier to start a business. And he was right. And that's where we're at right now. It is literally easier to start a business than find an actual job. Wild times. It's brutal out there.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I got 2 things out of this clip. The first one is it really easier to start your own business? I mean, sure, anyone can get like a business number and like start a business, right? But will you make enough money to cover your living expenses immediately? Because typically people have like 6 months of savings stashed aside in case of a layoff, right? But in this current market, it's taking people longer than 6 months to land a job. So will your business start pulling in cash to pay your bills ASAP? It likely will not, right? Because as we all know, most businesses are failing within the first 5 years. Secondly, if anybody knows account executives, those guys make bank. I see them posting on Reddit all the time, and then they're having discussions about how their on-time earnings is like upwards of $300K a year. I'm not even joking. And I always think to myself, what the heck am I doing wrong? So all that to say, if anybody knows of any companies hiring AEs, just put it down in the comments below and let's try to, help each other out a little bit.
Guess who's applied to 200 different jobs and has gotten 0 replies yet? I feel like you have a better chance of making $1 million business from scratch than get a minimum wage job in this job market. What do you mean as soon as it's my turn to graduate university? Now nobody is hiring! Like, how are you gonna tell me I need 4 years of experience for an entry-level job? This is the experience. It's the same process. No.
I'm not a U.S. veteran. No, I don't have a disability. I'm Hispanic and Latino
For all that matters.
Oh my gosh, I can't do it anymore.
We got an internship. Y'all gotta start using AI for your job search. And I don't mean ChatGPT or DeepSeek. I mean AI-based platforms like Massive that have like an autopilot feature that does everything for you. It applies to jobs for you. It customizes your CV or resume for you. And it applies to 100 jobs while you sleep. Yeah, do what you want with this information. That's all I'm saying.
So now I wonder if the business this homeboy is talking about is in selling AI job app tools, right? But for real, isn't that part of the problem that we're having? People sending out hundreds of applications using AI, flooding the pool, and then wondering why it's so hard to land interviews, let alone jobs, right? Also, when I graduated back in 2013 with a electrical engineering, I was easily sending out upwards of 20 job applications a day. Easily sent over 200 applications before I landed an internship at 42K a year myself. So this guy is definitely giving me flashbacks about, like, he reminds me of me back in 2013.
Someone please help me find a job. I just graduated from a master's program 3 weeks ago, with a master in public health in health policy and law. And I have been applying to jobs since March in Connecticut, in Massachusetts, in Texas, in DC, and I have not been hearing back from any of them. And I just don't understand like what I'm doing wrong. And I try to contact the people that have declined me or just ghosted me altogether. And I'm just not hearing any responses. And I know it's the market right now. I know people are like, it's so hard to find a job, whatever. But I need a job. Like, I need a job and I need help. So if anybody can help me.
You need a job. Don't we all need a job, right? But I mean, like, it's crazy that even a master's degree is not enough in 2025. I feel like people need to start thinking outside the box a little bit, though. I know we all want to find jobs within what it is that we studied in school. But if it's not working, then why don't we try something different, right? Einstein said it himself. The definition of insanity is trying the same thing and expecting different outcomes. I myself am guilty of that. I was very stubborn about it, where I really wanted an engineering job, and I kept on applying. And then finally I had to kind of settle for a technician job, which is kind of still technical, but it was a downgrade, right? This was back in 2013. I had to do what I had to do to put food on the table. So that's just it. I wonder, like, if I looked like this girl, I would definitely try bartending. Because I know that bartenders, they be making mad tips out here. But that's just me, right? Bartending, remember that.
If you want more information on the places that I'm applying right now, I'll do a little bit right now. But I've been applying to Texas Health, specifically the ones in Plano and Frisco. And I've been applying to infection prevention roles. I've been applying to medical lab scientist roles because that's also my background. So I've just not been hearing back. I'm either not hearing anything, or an interview is scheduled, an interview happens, and then it's crickets. Like, I've had 2 cases where I had an interview and then I didn't hear anything back. And I don't know if this is normal, but I don't like it. So if anybody can help me, that would be great. I'm willing to do anything. I'll do sales. I would love to be in the health policy sector, but I know that most of those jobs are in Austin.
Yeah, I don't mean to be inconsiderate, guys. I really don't. Of her master's degree, of course, right? But people really be sleeping on bartenders out here. Like, my partner, back in like the days, like 2013, 2014, 2015, she was pulling in $1,000 every single weekend serving as a server. In tips alone, this was like in Ottawa. In tips alone, not even in New York or like California, in Ottawa, Canada. $1,000 a weekend. So you do the math, right? In tips alone, not even talking about her hours. But yeah, it is definitely very normal to get ghosted after job interviews, after just applying. I mean, like, these companies, they know people are hurting right now. And it's almost like as if it's payback for people almost getting some leverage on these employers during COVID. You know how people were like, oh, I must work from home, I'm making demands. I think now the chicken has come home to roost, right? And now these employers, they're getting their pound of flesh back. I'm curious to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Are you currently in the job market? How is your search going? If you have any tips and tricks that you can share with us down in the comments below, please do so, just so we can help each other out in these difficult, dire times. Also, what do you think is making it so hard, especially hard in 2025? Or has it always been this tough? I personally think it's been tough. I haven't been in the job market in 2025, so I can't compare it to 2013. But I really had a hard time back in 2013. Do you think that this difficulty that people are having is as a result of AI, or is it as a result of the the H-1B TFW visas? Let's talk about it down in the comments below, right? And also, if you're still here, please consider subscribing to the channel, also hitting that like button. It really helps. just so that I know that at least the video is resonating with you. And until next time, peace.